Hare Krishna. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurulmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rup Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजना सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगना ललिता श्री विशाखामृतां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपेशा भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पासादिस्ताने वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतस्य नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपसा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी मामे हरि प्रिय नीलाचल निवासाय नित्य परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्याम जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसति गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna. So, actually, only one group was supposed to present today. Two of the groups said that they'll present tomorrow. So, group number two is told that they'll present tomorrow, and there was one more group. Okay, group number one will also present tomorrow. So, maybe group number three can present.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you give me the host rights?
Okay. So, I am supposed to make you host?
Yes, Prabhu. I wish.
Okay. So, give me a minute.
You may make co-host, Prabhu. Co-host should also work.
Okay. So, you are a co-host now, bro.
So, we will. Krishnanga Mataji and Mataji is there.
Yes, they're here, Prabhu.
I'm just putting through three of us on spotlight. Rukmini Mataji. Spotlight. And myself. So, Krishnanga Mataji, we can start.
Yes, Prabhu. Oh, brother Shivansh, please speak the truth. Was our mighty father truly crushed under a mere toddler's feet?
Truly, it was like a dark mountain being kneaded by a tender lotus flower. I watched it from the reeds.
But our father is an embodiment of the mellow of fear. How could a child survive his breath, which is like Rudra's fire of devastation that destroys the three worlds?
Oh, that Natwara Krishna! He is no child. He leaped upon our father's hoods like a playful wag-tailed bird dancing on a lotus leaf.
But our father is monstrous. He can easily vanquish any being with one squeeze of his massive coils.
He tried. He lunged furiously, enveloping Krishna in a deadly, suffocating grip to crush his chest.
Wait, what? Was the Lord of the universe truly trapped in our father's suffocating coils?
Briefly, yes, but it was only to relish the love of the Vrajavasis that he allowed himself to be trapped.
Rajavasi saw this. They must have been drowning in a fathomless ocean of fear and lamentation, seeing the Lord of their hearts in such a pitiable situation. And Nand Maharaj and Mother Yashoda must have become completely overwhelmed with grief.
Yes, the entire Vraj came to a standstill, but the intelligent Dauji simply smiled and removed everyone's misery by reminding them of Krishna's invincible lion like valor.
Please tell us more. If Krishna was caught, how did he eventually shatter our father's mountain like pride?
Actually, after Balramji spoke, Krishna slipped away from our father's clutches and glanced at the Vrajavasis to remove their distress. He then mounted on our father's hoods like a king.
I just can't wait anymore. It is becoming so exciting. When does Krishna, the unlimited reservoir of wonder, who is expert in all artistic skills, begin his celestial dance?
Right then, as our father attacked, Krishna leaped hood from hood, kicking the weight of sapphires, shattering our father's pride with every step.
But how could a little boy keep his balance atop 1,000 shifting angry peaks?
Keeping balance, Krishna simply whirled like a sapphire whirlwind, and his yellow silks flashed like lightning trapped in a blue monsoon cloud.
But our father, he must have tried to shake him off like a dry leaf in a gale.
He tried, but it was impossible. Krishna's feet were like golden anchors, pinning our father down to the heartbeat of the universe.
It sounds more like a celestial theater. Maybe some music would add more theatrics to it.
Oh, yes, the heavens exploded. The Gandharvas played various musical instruments and brought out newer and newer melodies by combining different notes, sounds, and hymns. And Krishna's ankle bells jingled like 1,000 laughing brooks.
I heard that our mothers were weeping, drowning the shore in tears while begging for our father's life.
Oh, yes, they were. Our mothers prayed, Lord, this kick is your merciful kiss. You have come to take away this wicked snake's false ego.
They recognized him even while their husband was being trampled like a rogue elephant in the mud.
Yes, our mothers saw through the ignorance and recognized the Lord's grace. They offered their lives to Him like fallen golden autumn leaves.
Oh, just look. Our father looks so different now. His hoods are bowed low, like a tree heavy with ripe fruit.
And those marks, those footprints shine brighter than the ancient gems embedded in our very scales.
Those are not footprints, they are seals of Vaikuntha. Our Father is no longer a predator, he is a devotee, carrying the Lord's footprints like royal jewels.
We are the luckiest serpents in all the worlds. Our lineage has been purified by the Lord's rhythmic thumping.
Do you think Krishna will ever dance on our heads too? I want to feel that weight.
Oh, my sister, if we just keep our hearts soft as a butter, this little Makhan chore will simply steal it instead of treading on it.
Ah, I feel so light hearing this, like a dry leaf caught in a spiritual breeze. We are no longer a family of monsters, but that of servants.
Let's go. I want my hiss to harmonize with the melody of Krishna's flute from now on.
Come, my sisters, let us slide into our new lives, trailing behind the Lord's golden footprints.
To Ramanaka Island, away from envy and into the garden of devotion.
Oh, yes, what a beautiful day to be a serpent in the service of Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all obeisances to this beautiful audience here. So I just had a question for everyone. Did you recognize who these people were and whatever we just presented for you? Just trying to get some interaction here.
Aditya Gaurpro, already see you looking for your answer.
Hare Krishna, Dinat Pranam. These were the sons and daughters of Kaliyanag.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Jai. Beautiful. So we just wanted to see it from the perspective of the next descendants of Kaliya. So it was Prabhu's amazing dialogues that helped us to present it. Thank you so much for your patience in hearing us. Haribol.
Hari Hari.
Today we
Beautiful.
actually had another presentation expected, but we focused on Kaliya Mardan. So thank you again.
Thank you, thank you. So beautiful devotee family. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
So we like to thank this group by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Yes. Asutosh Prabhu wanted to say something.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Accept my humble obeisances and really beautifully presented a very new perspective. What I really loved is when the daughters they said like if Krishna can dance on our head. So that is the bhava which like even Kalia has to he's going through that suffering, but the love in the suffering, the jubilation, the ecstasy was felt very beautifully expressed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Hare.
Hare
Sangari
Hare.
Khor Matai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, first of all, please accept my respectful obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. My very respectful pranams to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here, all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful presentation, Mataji's and Prabhuji. Beautiful. Yes, it was a fresh perspective. I was really amused when the kids are calling their dad Wicked Dad. And it reminded me of Prahlad Maharaj, who calls his dad Asuravarya, the best of the
Yes.
Asuras. So they have
Yes.
that realization that what their father was and what he becomes eventually. I really like that line where they said that we are no more a family of monsters but of servants. So that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so much, Mataji.
Yes. Okay, Aditya Gaurpro.
Hare Krishna, Dinat Pranam. I am so sorry, but I also just wanted to say that this was very beautiful presentation I have seen till now. Matlab, it's very beautiful. Thank you so much for presenting such a beautiful presentation. I have nothing specific what was the best because I felt everything was very beautiful, very new perspective I have seen. So yeah, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dinat Pranam.
Jai Ho. Hari Hari. Hare Krishna. So now we'll continue with the pastime. So after this beautiful presentation by the kids of Kalia. Hari. So in our one of the previous classes, we had heard how Nanda Maharaj had invited all the Vrajvasis, including King Vrishabhanu and his family also. So Radharani happened to come there, and the pastime was beautifully. We read it basically. It was spoken by Kavi Karnpur. So after that particular visit, Vrishabhanu Maharaj also got a desire in his mind. She thought, let me also invite Nanda Maharaj and his family. So he met with his ministers and then he invited his family members also. And then Brisbane Maharaj began to question them, or basically ask their suggestion. Can we invite Nanda Maharaj and his family? So let us hold the family tradition of inviting the guest. So we should invite especially Nanda Maharaj and his family. So he wanted to celebrate this festival in a grand style, and he knew that Radharani is embodiment of art of cooking, because Radharani pleased Durvasa Muni by her cooking when Durvasa Muni visited Vrindavan. So at that time, Durvasa Muni gave a benediction to Radharani: whoever takes food cooked by you will never become ill, he'll never fall ill. So she was already well known for her cooking. So Banu Maharaj, she asked Radharani to prepare for the bhoga, basically cooking different dishes. So by that time, Radharani was already married to Abhimanyu. So he sent nursemaid's daughter, whose name was Sucharita. Sucharita also means one who has good character, to tell his plan of inviting Nanda Maharaj. So she went to Radharani and she told to Radharani that, my dear Radhika, your parents want you to prepare a grand feast for upcoming visit of King of Vrindavan, that is Nanda Maharaj. And you have to come with me. So unless until you prepare to depart with me to your father's palace, I will not leave from here. So hearing that, Radharani was like, her heart was dancing in joy. And then Suchitra also told to other Sakhis who were there with Radharani. So she told to Sama Sakhi that, my dear Sama, Radharani's father wants you to give up all your pretension of laziness and help other Sakhis also, and help Radharani in this grand feast. So it is our family tradition to call the guests and feed them nicely. So you should come along with Radharani. And then she looked at Visakha. That, oh Visakhe, please bring Lalita Sakhi also with you. So when Lalita heard that, Lalita said, oh auspicious one, why are we suddenly invited to this festival? So Sucharita replied that it is not a surprise event. Nanda Maharaj celebrated Krishna's birthday and he invited everyone to participate. So after attending his Mahotsava, Vris Mahanu Maharaj got an idea to hold a similar festival in his palace also. So naturally, he thought of inviting Nanda Maharaj, who is king of all the cowherd men. Uh, so it is going to be a static event. So please come with me. So Syamasaki said, oh, one who excels in all good qualities, no doubt it will be a wonderful festival. And anyway, who will not enjoy bliss by attending such a festival? So immediately we will leave for this festival. And then all these gopis went to the magnificent palace of Vrisbhanu Maharaj. Uh, so it seemed that all the joyous festivals had manifested there. And now I'll show the slides. So give me a minute.
Was waiting for your slides, Prabhu. The
Yeah, yeah.
pictures were so beautiful.
Hurry. Yes. So now Sakhis have arrived in Vrisbhanu Mara's house. Okay. So then all the gopis, they went to the magnificent palace of Vrisbhanu Maharaj, and it seemed that all the festivals have visited there. And then Vrisbhanu Maharaj saw all the Sakhis, and he said, "Are you all happy?" And after Radharani paid obeisances to Vrisbhanu Maharaj, he smelled her head and told to Radharani, "O Radhike, O auspicious one, please use all your cooking skills to make very delicious and tempting preparations. Today, your lotus hands will attain perfection by cooking this feast. So, tomorrow, Nanda Maharaj, who is king of cowherdmen, Yasoda, his wife, all his family members, and his sons, Krishna and Balram, will take meal here." So, Lalita Sakhi is like expert manager. So, immediately she asked that, "Oh dear father, have you collected all necessary ingredients?" And Vrisbhanu Maharaj replied, "Not just today, but for many days we have been arranging for this Mahotsav. So for a long time, I have been eager to observe this. So now all ingredients have been procured in unlimited amounts. So you cannot see the end of them. So many items are there. So you can enter the storeroom, and then you see for yourself whether all the items are there or not there. So please consider if all the proper divan articles and items have been assembled. So if you feel that something remains to be collected, then tell me, immediately I'll procure it and supply it to you." And then you can see in the next slide. Yeah. So all the Sakhis, they go for cooking. So all the effulgent, slender waisted Sakhis like Lalita, Visakha, were expert in cooking, joyfully entered in the enchanting kitchen. So the kitchen of Radharani. So after paying obeisances to Mother Kirtida, all the Sakhis inspected the ingredients. And meanwhile, by that time, Krishna just returned from the forest with his cows. So seeing Krishna approaching there, Yasoda Maya told to Krishna, so same Lord who is glorified by Shiva and Brahma. So Yasoda was anxious to speak to him. Hmm. So Krishna looked at his friends with sidelong glances, and with the gait of Lord the Elephant, he entered the house. And then let us see what happened. You can see in the next slide. Yeah. So Yasoda told to Krishna, "O Kanhaiya, our honorable King Vrisbhanu Maharaj, so he has great opulence of so many bulls. So he desires to host you tomorrow at his palace. Hmm. So after consulting his ministers and associates, he has sent us invitation. So my dear darling, you should go there tomorrow and reciprocate with the loving request of Vrisbhanu Maharaj. And as far as your friends are concerned, they can stay back and they can tend the cows. So tomorrow you don't have to go to the forest. You should come with us to the house of Vrisbhanu Maharaj." But Krishna is ocean of compassion. So he told Yasoda Maya, "Maya, how is it possible for me to go alone and eat without my friends? So what is use of such an invitation where I have to go along without my friends?" And Yasoda Maya knew the social etiquette that now his friends will not be happy, Krishna will not be happy to eat without the friends. So then she replied that, Kanaya, don't be distressed in the mind. So if he can't give your attachment to your friends, then okay, fine, you stay back in home, and we will go to Vrisvanu Mara's house. And uh, now Krishna was in dilemma. You can see here in the slide. So Krishna was thinking, I can't give up my friends. At the same time, I can't give up this invitation where Radharani is personally going to cook for me. So he was wondering what to do now. Should I go? Should I not go? But then finally, his attraction for Madhur Ras overwhelmed and conquered his attraction for Sakharas. So then he decided, let me go. Let me go to the house of Nand Maharaj. Sorry, Vrisvanu Maharaj. So in this way, now Krishna forgot going to the forest. He started contemplating upon upcoming festival. So Krishna remembering the name, form, qualities, pastimes of Radharani, and he fixed his mind on Radharani. And as he was thinking of Radharani, his affection for Radharani was increasing more and more and more and more. And then Krishna started meditating on the wonderful preparations which Radharani would had made on the order of her father. So on the day of Mahotsava, which was the next day, Vrisbhanu Maharaj was very happy. He was looking like the rays of rising sun. And Yashoda Maiya also, she received a warm greeting upon arriving in Varsana. So after the ladies, they saw Yashoda Maiya. So then all the younger girls, they paid obeisance to Yashoda Maiya and they told to Yashoda, please listen attentively as we recount how Kirtida Devi praised you. So we have heard your glories from Kirtida. So she said that even Saraswati cannot properly describe the wonderful nature of Yashoda, who is personification of parental love. And how can I possibly glorify her? So, as a devotee of Lord Hari can remove all the miseries of material existence. Similarly, Yashoda is called Yasa Uda, one who gives yes to other, one who gives fame to others. So, Yashoda's visit to our house will remove all inauspiciousness from our house. So, in this way, Rohini Devi and her all auspicious family members should also be welcomed in our house. So, I hope that they all will be compassionate to me. And please inform them that they don't have to wait in the home to bathe and dress uh, and like take so many troubles. They can quickly come to our house. They can take bath in our palace, and we have proper arrangements so that they can decorate themselves. So when Yasoda heard that, Yasoda addressed them by saying that, oh dear ladies, you have conquered us with your humble praises. You need not treat us so respectfully or worry about us. We will take care of ourselves. So don't worry about no whether how we will take bath, about our comforts. So she said that we'll just come. And then we'll see how they come. You can see in the next slide. So Krishna, Balram, and all of them are entering. So Virasabhanu Maharaj had collected beautiful paraphernalia from all directions to receive Nanda Maharaj and give him a royal reception. So there was a lavish decoration in the entire city of Varsana, beginning from city gate. Gorgeous ornaments adorn the entire royal road. Strings of sweetly jingling bells hung over the roadways. You can see that. Auspicious water pots lined the sides of the road. You can see the auspicious water pots also here. Coconut sat on mango leaves rested above the shining brass pots. Ah, so when Ghat Sthapan is done, these things are done. So that was done that time also. Rows of decorated lamps ascended the atmosphere, and being nicely swept and cleansed, the main road appeared free from dirt and dust. Apart from that, densely foliage branches of the dark green banana trees prevented the sun's rays from shining on the path. So they covered the road in such a way that very little sun rays were coming on the paths. Kettle drums, mridangas, they all were resounding in glorification of Nanda Maharaj and his family. In this way, this during this festive atmosphere, Nanda Maharaj and his family was greeted. So Vrisbhanu Maharaj prayed to Suryadev, who is a worshipable deity of his family, basically his Kul Devta, so that his all the endeavors are successful. He went to the path beside main road and waited expectantly for arrival of guest. He was waiting for the guest. Rows of fruit bearing betel nuts land on both the sides of the lane. And first he saw Kanhaiya, young prince of Vrindavan. So he was strolling before his relatives. He was surrounded by his friends, and Krishna was illuminating the world with a brilliant effulgence coming from his pitambari. The dhoti which was glistening like lightning. And gopis, they were like excited. So they were cherishing now paramour love. So they were desiring to embrace Krishna's lotus feet very tightly and keep them near them. And the same feet were gracing the earth of Varsana now. So Krishna, who is personification of Sringaras, now enter in the vision of King Vrisbhanu. And other family members like Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj. So behind Krishna and his friends, so Krishna and his friends were in the front. Behind them was Yashoda, and behind them was Nanda Maharaj with his associates. So seeing this, as you can see in the painting, Vrisbhanu Maharaj rushed forward and warmly embraced Krishna, who is Gokul Chandra, who has attractive curly dark blue hairs. So after bending his head slightly in respect to Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, Vrisbhanu Maharaj led them to the palace. And then now we can see next. Yeah. So this is the scene inside the palace. So upon entering in the palace, Vrisbhanu Maharaj spreadly arranged sitting places for his guests according to their position. He provided for their comforts by engaging his servants in carefully bathing, massaging, and dressing them. And in this way, everybody felt happy and they were relieved from the fatigue of the journey. And then after that, as you can see in the next slide, yeah. Now Yashoda Maya entered in the kitchen to see what preparations are going on. And she saw Radharani there. So she saw that Radharani has made such a wonderful feast. So she's expert in cooking and she made so many tasteful arrangements. So as soon as Radharani saw Yashoda, she paid her obeisance to Yashoda. And Yashoda also felt boundless affection for Srimati Radharani. So smiling joyfully, Yashoda said that art of cooking is the jewel in the ornament praise of female class. That means women are known for their cooking, art of cooking. And then she looked at Radharani and she said that, my dear Radhika, although your body is delicate like beautiful flower, why are you taking such a heavy burden of cooking? But certainly, by doing so, your elegance has enhanced. So Radharani, although she had worked very, very hard, she didn't feel a bit tired also. And the reason was she was cooking for Krishna. So she was very blissful. So then Yashoda Maiya started asking Radharani, so show me what all preparations you have made. And Radharani was feeling so shy to tell about all the items she has made. Such delicious items. And uh, when Yashoda Maiya, she saw all these amazing delicacies. And then she said, just see what amazing delicacies you have made. One can easily perceive all your good qualities of taste, beauty, fragrance in these astonishing preparations. Uh, and your perfect cooking has turned everything into ambrosia, nectar. And after saying that, now you can see in the next slide. Then Yashoda Maiya gave a full embrace to Radharani. Yashoda Maiya kept congratulated her, saying, oh, darling, I really appreciate your expertise in cooking. Seeing your skill of cooking, whatever unhappiness I felt has gone now. Uh, and now her face glowing with like full moon. Yashoda continued her joyful mood. So she embraced Lalita, Shyama Sakhi, who were also helping in cooking. And Yashoda now started praising them also. So Yashoda said, O Lalite, O Shyame, O Visakhe, your friendly dealings with each other and your respectful attitude towards each other, and especially your superiors, is very commendable. And this is standard of behavior of cultured people. It seems, no, this proves that all of you are so cultured. So after glorifying Radharani, who is expert in all arts, and her friends also, Lalita, Visakha, Syama, Yashoda turned to now Rohini Devi. And she told Rohini, mother Rohini, that, oh, mother of Balbhadra, Balram, learned persons always honor such mutual loving affection. So this Radhika, who is so delicate and tender by nature, she has filled my heart with ecstasy. She looks like auspicious flower of Nandakanan gardens, or she looks like beautiful creeper of sandalwood. So Radharani is ripened fruit of tree of Vishvanu Maharaj's piety. Whatever piety Vishvanu Maharaj had done, it has descended in form of Radharani. Rather, this Radharani is jewel mine of all best qualities in the three worlds. And Roni replied that, oh Yashoda, everything you have said is perfect. It's totally correct. There's no doubt about it. Like Krishna is ocean of all good qualities. Similarly, this Radhika, who is Sumukhi, beautiful one, is also sweetness personified. Uh, and in this way, this pair of jewels in form of Radhika and Krishna, they are like central ornament on the neck of goddess of Vrindavan. So they give pleasure to anyone who sees them, hears about them. Both of them are source of bliss for everyone. And when Radharani was hearing her praises, being very cultured, she felt very shy, and she kept her head down. But she was very happy. She was very happy. So Syama Saki and Lalita, Visakha, other gopis, they could detect that Radharani was dancing in her heart. So they smiled slightly in understanding and thought within themselves. So now gopis are thinking. So gopis were thinking and they are saying to themselves, "Oh Rohini Devi, your statements disclose our inner thoughts." Because Rohini Devi called both Radha and Krishna as the jewels. Truly, you are blessed. Without a doubt, rain gives cooling relief to one who is tortured by hot sun. So, whatever you have spoken, there is a deeper, more satisfying meaning to your statements, uh, that Radhika and Syama are jewels on the neck of the goddess of Vrindavan. Yeah. So everyone holds this pair of jewels on their heads. Do not feel repentant about engaging this delicate girl in such a difficult work. She would like to have such a difficult work. So as sun lights up the entire universe, similarly her pure consciousness, that's Kirtida, illuminates her family and increases their fame. And now Yashoda Maiya uh, embraced her, and Yashoda Maiya told to Kirtida, that you can see in the next slide. So Rohini Devi is there, Yashoda is there, Kirtida is there. So after embracing her, Yashoda told to Kirtida that, "Oh Kirtida, why did you engage youthful Radhika in such a toilsome duty of cooking?" So generally this is done by elderly housewives in the family. So you should have not caused such a distress to fresh flavor like Radhika. So cooking fires are so hot, so she would get wilted by the heat of cooking fires. So don't you feel repentant over engaging Radhika? So Kirtana replied. She said, "Oh Vradeshwari, certainly I am taking a risk by engaging Radhika in such a hard work. But there is a fact. Fact is, Radhika is expert in cooking. And besides that, we know that this particular festival will host, or the festival which we are hosting, it will fill everyone with delight. So Nanda Maharaj is coming, you have come, all your children have come. So it was a great opportunity to engage Radharani in cooking. And on top of that, Radhika herself has willfully taken this service with great happiness and enthusiasm. And apart from that, Radhika has a natural ability in her hand that whatever she cooks becomes best in the quality of taste, beauty, and fragrance. So, oh, you, oh, who have such strong affection for Radhika, you such a strong affection for Radhika. So, because Radhika's father, Vrisbhanu Maharaj, had a desire to please the guest, so Vrisbhanu Maharaj sought help of Radhika, and she agreed. Apart from that, she didn't cook for everyone in the sense that so many other guests have come. So as far as majority of fish preparations are concerned, they are made in another big kitchen. And Radhika is cooking some special delectable items here for all of you. And anyway, is there anyone in Vrindavan who will not consider himself blessed today by participating in this feast? So now so much management has to be done, and you are most worshipful lady of Vrindavan. So I think you should take the charge of serving. So if that makes you happy, then I am sure that all problems of the festival will be solved. So when Yasoda heard that, so Yasoda said, let Rohini Devi, who is famous for her expertise in serving, distributing food items, let her manage everything and let her distribute the food items cooked by Radhika. So before Radharani, sorry, before Yasoda could finish speaking, Kirtida immediately spoke in between. And she said, wait, let my darling Radhika serve Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda, along with their sons Krishna and Balram, who look like pair of fresh blue and white lotuses. Krishna looks like blue lotus and Balram looks like white lotus. And then Radhika should also serve Rohini, who is personified jewel of all good qualities. And other friends of Radhika, Lalita, Syama, Visakha, they're also experienced in serving. So they will distribute food to Krishna's friends. Madhumangal, Subal, Sudama, Sridama, they will serve to them. So when Radharani heard that she has now opportunity to serve Krishna, she was feeling as if these words are like nectar entering in her ears. But it created a dilemma due to rising waves of love within her heart. So this proposal was so sweet, Radharani could not reject it. At the same time, she could not accept it. So she didn't want to refuse. At the same time, she was feeling very shy. So she was not able to accept also. So somehow inertia overtook her mind what to do. So as gentle, sweet smile came in her lips, Radharani confided to her mother, Kirtida. So she said, Maya, I am feeling overwhelmed with feelings of shyness and reluctance. So what I will do is, I'll serve Yasoda, Queen of Vrindavan, and her family members privately in inner chambers. And let Syama Sakhi and other people, let them serve other guests in the veranda. But Syama Sakhi, who is expert in juggling words, so she said, oh, do I add one? Your statements are unreasonable. Let your father, Vishbhanu Maharaj, who is so powerful like sun, who is more famous than Lord Shiva, and who is purifier of all fallen, let him serve the guest in Vanda, and we Sakhis will serve here. So that Radharani also gets support. So now Yasoda was filled with paternal affection, and she told that, oh, my two well behaved girls, don't be afraid, but you listen to my words and it will benefit you. So I'll teach you the proper method of serving. So in this way, both of you will become proficient in this art. So after speaking that, Yasoda went in the gem side veranda, and then she started uh, ordering the servants that they should make properly arrange wooden seats. They should properly arrange the wooden seats. Then they should be fixed. They should be made comfortable with cushions or something. Then they should be covered with white chadar, white cover. So they made all the arrangements like that. And you can see the arrangements in the next slide. So these are the arrangements. Yeah. So Balram, brother of Krishna, who subdues the demon, whose bright complexion outshines the pure crystal, he sat on the right side of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna sat on the left side of Nanda Maharaj. Madhumangal, Batu, who is expert in joking, who has a very strong and beautiful neck, sat next to Krishna. Subala, who is strong, wealthy, full of deep affection for Krishna, and other sakhas apart from that. Now we can cover all the sakhas. So they all sat besides Madhumangal. So respectful and handsome Nanda Maharaj. So his feet were clenched and he sat down to take prasad. And everyone in the assembly drowned in joy upon seeing the beam, upon seeing the feast, and they were smiling. So first Radharani came in front of Nanda Maharaj, honored him, and she offered a lotus flower with folded palms. Yeah, you can see here Radharani offering lotus flower with folded palms. And then Yashoda Maiya requested Radharani to serve foodstuffs. So you can see in the next slide now. Now she's serving. Yeah. So with heart full of joy, Radharani served Nanda Maharaj while Syama Sakhi was serving Krishna Balram. So that you can see here. So Syama Sakhi is serving Krishna Balram, Radharani is serving Nanda Maharaj. But Yashoda Maiya noticed that. That you can see in the next slide. So noticing that Radharani is not serving Krishna, Yashoda told Radharani, without your help, Syama Sakhi will not be able to serve properly. So why don't you help her to serve Krishna? So Radharani was already very eager to do that. But then she was somehow restraining her restless heart. And somehow her sinus went away, the bad star of sinus went away. And now she became very modest. So she thought, let me serve now. So Radharani's mind was completely saturated because of her eternal love for Krishna. So now her hand started trembling in fear. Somehow Radharani controlled it and served Krishna. So it was like a dream coming true. So on the order of Yashoda, Radhika and Syamasakhi served Krishna along with Subala and Kusumasa, Miss Madhumangal. And when Madhumangal saw that prasad coming, he was like filled with joy. He said, oh, look, although I am the best of the Brahmanas, still I have become sanctified by honoring this food. So generally Brahmanas, they eat food and sanctify the place, but I have become sanctified by honoring this food. Because this food is personally served by the hand of daughter of Risbhanu Radharani. Do you know why this is true? And everybody was like, why this is true? He says, because Radharani is Mahalakshmi Devi herself. Is there any woman in the world equal to Radharani? So, hey Krishna, my effulgent friend, after relishing the food cooked by Radhika, you no longer want to eat anything else. You just want to eat this food only. So, in this way, Kusmas was glorifying Radharani and her preparations. You can see in the next slide. She was joking and laughing and glorifying Radharani. So Radharani was serving food with dexterity and devotion, and Madhumangal was just cracking jokes and laughing, and he was using various tones, sometimes high pitched sound, sometimes low pitched sound. Sometimes he would speak very quickly, sometimes very slowly. So in this way, his funny talks and antics were entertaining the entire assembly. And Krishna was pretending to be angry. He was saying, oh, It's a nice lunch time, and we're supposed to be grave now, and he's no making jokes, cracking jokes at this time. So Krishna told to Madhumangal, "Oh Vachal means talkative person. Take your meals and stop mocking and joking. So why are you creating such pandemonium here? Besides that, what is the use of your useless talks?" And then Madhumangal replied, he said, "Accepting all instructions? Am I supposed to become like a dumb man and just sit down silently and eat?" And then he said, "Even if I had hundreds of mouths, I could not glorify the superb quality of this food. So if I'm relishing this food which is beyond my imagination, how can I be dumb? Huh? Tell me, how can I be dumb?" And Krishna said, "We can't do anything." So, so then suddenly what happened? You can see in the next slide that while eating, Krishna suddenly saw a parrot came there. You can see in the next slide. And he sat between Krishna and Madhumangal. And Krishna started feeding this bird, parrot. Basically, his sari. So Suk and Sari. Suk is the parrot of Radharani and Sari is parrot of Krishna. So this parrot accepted the offerings with great happiness. So feeling grateful, he extended his neck, hmm, and looked restlessly here and there, preparing to speak. And generally, people like I don't know now. So many people don't keep pet parrots. Parrots are known for speaking. So Aurora observing this parrot, Yashoda said, "Oh, best of the Dvijas." So Brahmana thal ko Dvijas the Dvijas, Dvijaye the. First birth comes from the mother and father. Second comes from Guru. Guru becomes father and Vedas become mother. And birds are also called Dvijas. Why? Because first they are born from the mother bird in form of egg, and then from the egg they get the second birth and the chick comes out. So even birds are called Dvijas. So Yashoda said, "Oh Dvijas, oh best among Dvijas, speak out whatever is in your mind." And rather than the bird speaking, Madhumangal started speaking. So he replied in a loud voice, "Oh, just see, today I have become the best of twice born." So Dvija, Yashoda was speaking to the bird, and Madhumangal took it for himself. And then Yashoda replied, "Madhumangal, I am not speaking to you, I am speaking to this parrot." And then parrot told to Madhumangal, "O son of twice born Batu, don't show off your word jugglery." So generally parrots are supposed to be talkative, but it seems that you're more crazy and talkative than me also. Huh? So don't spoil Krishna's happy mood by speaking any more nonsense. And Nanda Maharaj, when he was seeing that this bird is speaking so wisely, he started asking, "From where has this bird come? Huh? Why is this parrot becoming morose upon hearing the glories of Radhika as Lakshmi Devi?" So Nanda Maharaj was thinking that he's angry because Madhumangal is glorifying Radharani. And Yashoda said, uh, "Just listen to the history of this parrot. He is angry not because Radharani is glorified. He's angry because Radharani is compared to one of the demigods, or he's even compared to Lakshmi Devi. Because Radharani is even better than Lakshmi." So then parrot began to speak. Uh, Parrot said that, "Why didn't you give a suitable reply on my behalf?" He was telling Madhumangal. So when these talks were going on, so Radharani was feeling very shy. So now you can see in the next slide. So what happens is, after hearing these talks, Radharani and Samasaki, they went in the kitchen, they removed their veils from their heads, and they started joking and laughing very loudly. So Radharani said, "Oh Syame, one with beautiful face, these two Dvijas, who? Madhumangal and the parrot, they're talking so much nonsense about me. So now you continue to serve, I will not serve. I'm serving and they're just like glorifying me like anything." So after speaking like that, Radharani remained in the kitchen, and then Yasoda Maya noticed. She saw that Radharani has not come. So she could understand. She would understand that perhaps Radhika has become shy upon hearing the parrot glorifying her. So maybe she has stopped serving because of feeling very shy. So then Yasoda Maya went in the kitchen again and she encouraged Radharani to serve again. And because Yasoda was speaking, so Radharani again came uh, to serve. But then she started serving in the another part of the room. So Yasoda, when she saw that again she's feeling shy and she's serving another part of the room, she approached Radharani and said, "The Radhika, it is natural for cultured girl to feel shy when she is glorified. But my dear Radhika, you are not just the daughter of Risbhanu. You are daughter of Ocean. That means Lakshmi. So actually Vrajavasis, they knew everything. Only thing is that their love would overpower their understanding of greatness of Radha and Krishna. So then he said, "Oh, sweet faced one, you should serve in the same line as you were doing before." So because Yashoda Maya spoke, Radharani surrendered and she began continue to serve Krishna and all his friends. And everyone, especially Nanda Maharaj, was appreciating cooking expertise of Radharani like anything. So he was also satisfied, he was laughing, joking with great joy, and he relished all six kinds of taste which Radharani had presented. So I don't know, I tried to understand, but generally we know four types of taste. Bakshebo, Lohe, Chos, but here there were six types of taste. So I don't know what are all these six. So he gave so much praise to Radharani for her cooking so perfectly. And even Balramji, all the Gopas, they are filled with satisfaction. And Krishna especially was relishing not just the cooking which is served by Radharani, he was also experiencing the sweetness of Madhur Ras. So while he was taking each bite of food cooked by Radharani, he was relishing that Madhur Ras, that conjugal love. And then after everybody had honored Prasadam, they cleansed their hands. Vrisvanu Maharaj gave them pan, tambula. Then he gave them valuable ornaments, garlands, decorate them with sandalwood pulp. Hmm. So, and then you can see the next slide. So after the men had taken, as you can see in the next slide, Radharani enthusiastically served the mothers of Krishna and Balram, Yasoda and Rohini. Hmm. Okay. Yes. So somehow I got this six type of taste. Six of taste are madhur, sweet, amla, sour, lavan, that is salty, katu, that is pungent, tikta, that's bitter, and kasai. Kasai is called astringent. So these 6 types of food, when they're taken together in one preparation, they balance all the three dosas. So kaf, vat, pitta, all of them are balanced. So there are 6 types of taste. Yeah. So Radharani then enthusiastically started serving Yasoda and Rohini. And Yasoda Rohini were also displaying sublime gravity and kindness. Hmm. And then they were taking sweets. So while relishing the sweets, they were delighted in Radharani's service mood. And then both of them started discussing, Yasoda and Rohini. So Yasoda said, although this talkative Batu speaks so much, but actually he has spoken correctly. So after eating food cooked by this server, now you will not like to eat anything else. So after eating this food cooked by Radharani, nobody would like to eat anything else. And then she looked at Radhika and she said, "Oh, Vrisbhanu Nandini, your preparations give complete satisfaction. And from now onwards," which was like a nectar in the ears of Radharani, these instructions. "From now onwards, my dear son Krishna will eat food cooked only by your hands. Haribol. So he will no longer accept any meal cooked by anyone else. So, in very sweet words, I'll seek permission from your elders, and definitely they will allow you to cook for my son. So, for doing this service, I'll reward you with opulent dresses, ornaments. But now, from now, you should come to my house and prepare all kinds of meals with a joyful heart." And when Kirtida heard that, she said, "O Vrajeshwari Yasoda, you are queen of our lives. So your order has greatly enhanced the beauty, love, and affection of Radhika. So those who know the workings of love will be pleased by your request. So every day, Radhika will come and skillfully cook for your son. So as soon as the sun rises, she will go to your house. By your mercy, the kingdom of Vrindavan now shines with transcendental glory and stands beyond time. So your pleasure is ultimate. You want it, it will happen." So in this way, Radharani got an opportunity to not just cook, but also freely associate with Krishna now. Yeah. So as Krishna continued to relish nectarine foods cooked by Radharani, Radharani also desired to personally serve Krishna by her own body. So in this way, Radharani started cooking for Krishna. There was another Sakhi from a rival group, Chandravali. So she had also imprisoned Krishna like in her heart, like one imprisons a thief. So when Krishna and Chandravali met, they also looked very beautiful. So in this way, the heart of Chandravali, which possesses the wealth of supreme beauty, would melt in anticipation of meeting Krishna. So she always wanted to be pierced by the arrow of Krishna's love. So it comes in purports of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Whenever Krishna would enter in some Gosala and he would find Chandravali. So unless only Chandravali would lovingly glance of Krishna, Krishna would not enter. So all the gopis headed by Chandravali were like flowers of love emanating the highly praiseworthy fragrance of joy of meeting Krishna. So Chandravali had a other set of gopis, which we had heard before also. So they had one another wing. So basically, Radharani's wing is called left wing. So they would sometimes show anger. Sometimes they would try to control Krishna. Hmm. And Chandravali's wing is submissive wing. However, whatever Krishna does, they're like, yeah, yes, yes, yes. And Radharani's wing is, no, no, how can you do this? How can you do that? So in this way, Krishna would enjoy the asana of Radharani's group and Chandravali's group. So within a year, their love flourished and now was expressed very clearly. And now you can see in the next slide. Yeah. So sometimes later, on the pretext of picking flowers, gopis met Krishna. They met Krishna in a lonely garden, decorated with fresh, untouched creepers, and enjoyed intimate pastimes with Krishna. And Krishna is like a fresh rain cloud and is totally independent, well wisher of everyone. So he became the sole object of love for all the gopis. And all other Vrajavasis were devoid of envy. So now Vrajagopis freely displayed their love without any pretension. Now it's like they were very clear that they have love for Krishna. But their superiors did not practice fault finding. That is why these gopis also didn't fear criticism. Because Vrajavasis are very simple. They don't like to criticize others. So from the childhood, all these Vraj gopis had their loving attraction for Krishna. They no longer felt any need to hide their feelings. And actually speaking, uh, if anybody remembers that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, nobody would be bewildered by such an exchange. It's like anybody is there with his wife, he would never say, "Oh, don't look at Krishna. Look only at me." So everybody knows Krishna is like object of love for everyone. So fully exhibiting their frivolous moods, gopis delighted in forest pastimes with their beloved Krishna. So discarding all inhibitions, they fulfill their desires to love and serve Krishna. At the same time, the husband of the gopis, the gopas to whom they were married, they observed all the proper rules of social etiquette. But somehow, although they were like so cultured, somehow by the arrangement of Yog Maya, they never prevented their wives from running to forest. Suddenly, especially when Krishna would play on the flute, they would run to the forest. But because by the arrangement of Yog Maya, they would not stop. So in this way, Yog Maya made all the arrangements so that she would nourish the rasa of this perfected lover of Krishna, perfect lover Krishna. But these, by power of Yog Maya potency, gopis felt extremely anxious and apprehensive about their love for Krishna. So they thought, we gopis are married to someone and then we belong to someone else. So this is called Parkiya Bhav. So we have love for Krishna, but we are married to someone else. So although they had such thoughts, by the arrangements of Yog Maya, they would secretly meet with Krishna and it remained hidden from their superiors also. So fathers, mother-in-law, husbands, all the gopis, so they thought themselves to be superior and protectors of the gopis. Hmm. Now, for some of the family members who had false pride and they wanted to keep their these gopis in the home, Yog Maya had arranged a Mayak expansion of these gopis, duplicate. So these duplicates would remain with their husbands in the house, and the original ones in their spiritual bodies go in the night to meet with Krishna. So in this, Yog Maya perfectly arranges things in such a way that gopis had an opportunity to associate with Krishna. And uh, Yog Maya had different arrangements for Nand and Yashoda. So Nand and Yashoda, they were thinking, oh, our little child is so innocent. They couldn't even think in the widest of their dreams that Krishna would be dancing with the gopis. So this can happen only in Krishna simultaneously. Krishna can attract gopis with Madhurras. At the same time, he had that innocence of a child which allowed Nanda Yashoda to think that he's our little Krishna. So that is possible only for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna, whose character is praised by even Brahma and Shiva, he is known for his ability to control even Madan. So that's why he's called Madan Mohan. Hmm. So although these qualities usually disappear as the boy matures, but Krishna had both. Krishna had the maturity of a boy, he also had a tenderness of a child. And that is why Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj never detected his love for gopis. So although they were still thinking that Krishna is that small, tender child, slowly he blossomed into manhood. So in this way, gopis would see Krishna as a handsome, most lovable young man. And for Nanda Yashoda, he was their lovely, darling son. So in this way, Nanda Yashoda never suspected Krishna's love for gopis. So this was all the arrangements of Yogamaya potency of the Lord. Yeah. To satisfy Lord's desire to realize Parkya Bhav, Yogamaya also arranged for the gopis to maintain consciousness of identifying as other men's wives, still have love for Krishna. So in this way, she made all the arrangements. Okay. Now the next chapter is about pastimes in summer and other seasons. So you can see in the next slide. So with the arrival of summer season, it brought a suitable time for Krishna to relish refreshing pastimes with Radharani. But when Krishna played with Balram and the cowherd boys at this time, with the Gopas, he felt scorching heat of summer manifesting within himself. But what was that heat? That was heat of pain or separation from Radhika. So even when he would play with the Gopas, he would feel separation from Radhika. And the description of summer season in the next slide you can see. So during summer season, the pathways become hard, they become dry, and there are blisters in the hard pathway because of heat of the sun. So like a person's fingernail becomes brittle and cracks, similarly the ground is cracked. But as far as Govardhan is concerned, Giriraj is concerned, inside the caves of Giriraj, Krishna secretly enjoyed with his beloved gopis. So these caves were soothing and cooling due to its natural springs and small ponds of water. पानी सुये कंदर कंदमूले. So all these things were there. The waves of Yamuna would meander lazily because of the sand now. Sand would come in between the meandering waters of Yamuna. Because of heat, people also become very slow. They would walk slowly now because they were tired. And then they would perspire, which would bring them relief from sizzling sun rays. But everyone forgets the discomfort of perspiring by smelling the pleasing fragrance of sarisa flower. So the tops of the trees would hang down to form natural canopies, and this would provide the shade of the footpaths from the pinching rays of the sun. So pathways of Vrindavan were like they were mud pathways, and you can see in our hand. So they would like cover the pathways like this, or the trees, and very fine rays of sunlight would touch the ground. And this was not even long before. I heard this from elderly people who are like 80 plus now. So all these people say when they would visit Vrindavan, Vrindavan would always look cool even in the summer season. So the mud of Vrindavan was always very soft, and it will remain little wet. But somehow because of modernization, now there's a lot of opportunity to visit Vrindavan very easily, but then many things are destroyed now. Hmm. Yes. Now you can see the next slide. Yeah. So in Vrindavan, cool city groves are prepared by Vanadevis. So they make delightful arrangements for Radha and Krishna's conjugal pastimes. So scattered here and there are various kunjas, natural cottages, as you can see here. So they are made of groups of lush, bushes, trees, vines. So of course we couldn't make it here. If you remember in our first class, uh, we discussed about these rooms. So there are 4 trees. All these 4 trees are like 4 pillars. Then there are branches. They connect with each other. They're again covered by the various creepers and vines, which are filled with the flowers. So in this way, they would make like a rooms. They would make like rooms where Radha and Krishna can reside. Mm. So somehow, Gemini could not make it. But so these are like rooms. But these one Devis would also arrange for pan, chandan, pots of cool sandal inside these kunjas. There are also containers of refreshing drinks like madhu, mango nectar, and this would satisfy Radha and Krishna and remove their fatigue. So in this way, one Devis would make various arrangements for pleasing Radha and Krishna. Hari. You can see all the different preparations here. Chandan is here, pan is there, various juices are there, uh, different sweets are there. So in this way, one Devis would make all the arrangements for Radha and Krishna. Now there's another pastime which happened in summer season. So one day, brilliantly powerful Krishna Balram, they were surrounded by their other Gopa friends. They were roaming around in Bhandirvan. So at that moment, Krishna desired to enjoy a particular pastime, and immediately all the paraphernalia hmm, needed for pastimes appeared. So the cows were munching on fresh green grass. They're satisfied by drinking the crystal clear water from the valleys of Giriraj. And in this way, cows were relaxing nicely under the shade of banyan trees. And the gopas, who were wearing flower garlands of mallika flowers, and they were wearing the earrings made of sirsa flowers. They tied their hairs with kurchi flowers, and even Krishna and Balram were decorated like that. So in this way, all of them, Krishna, Balram, and all the cowherd boys, were dancing like that. You can see all these earrings made of flowers, hairs made of flowers, garlands made of flowers, and all these cows were sitting under the banyan trees, shade of the banyan trees. So they were playing like that. Yeah. And then suddenly you will see in the next slide. So suddenly one boy, one Gopa, he starts singing in a very sweet voice. Some other boys start playing on the musical instruments, and then they begin to dance, as you can see here. Some other times, as you can see in the next slide, Krishna would play on the flute and Balram would dance. You can see Balram dancing here. And then you can see in the next slide. Yeah. Sometimes Balram would sing and Krishna would dance along with his friends. So in a melodious tone, Krishna called all the Gopas, "Ho, ho, my brothers. So now you should stop dancing and now we'll play a game." And the Gopa said, "Game? What type of game?" And then Krishna started describing the game. So you can see this game in the next slide. Yeah. So this was the game. So Krishna said, "Listen, now let us divide into two parties. One party will go with Balram, other party will be in my side." So in this way, the two parties were divided. So Balram's party followed his loyal soldiers. Krishna's loyal Gopas were in his side. So the game was that they would pull the rope, and finally the losing party would have to carry the victors on their back. And in the whole party, amazingly, Krishna's party lost. So Krishna carried Vrisabha on his back. Sorry, Sridhama. So Krishna carried Sridhama on his shoulders. So same Krishna who carries the entire universe in his belly was now carrying Sridhama on his shoulders. And during that game, as you can see in the next slide, so there was one Gopa who was outstanding Gopa, who was not a Gopa. He was Pralambasur. So this Pralambasur, who was a deceitful demon, he disguised himself as a cowherd boy and he mixed with Krishna's friends. So being defeated in the contest, Pralambasur had to carry Baldev, so who looked extremely enchanting and effulgent with sandalwood paste daubed in his golden white body. Actually, yeah, again, this Vishwanath Thakur, some other acharyas, they explain that he had some vicious plan with him. Yeah. So his plan was, he thought, I accomplished my mission like a thief. I've broken all the rules, and now I will steal Balram. So his plan was that so many demons have come and they have been killed by the hands of Krishna, but they couldn't succeed. So what I'll do is I'll carry Balram with me and I'll take him to Mathura. And in Mathura, Kansa will imprison Balram. And when Kansa imprisons Balram, then Kamsa can blackmail Krishna or make some plans, and in this way, Krishna can be defeated. So actually, that was the plan of Pralambasur. Yeah. So you can see the next slide that Pralambasur carries Balram on his shoulders, and he took him to the edge of Bhandirvan. So he was just running and running and running and running. So initially, Balramji was amazed to see the extraordinary power of Pralambasur. But then he understood the situation. So he thought there's some danger here. It seems that he's a demon. But Balram was so absorbed in the role of a Gopa that he became fearful. And he uh, called for Krishna. Kanaya, this demon is trying to kidnap me. Or you with infallible willpower, what should I do now? Hey, releaser of mellows, without hesitating any longer, please give me instructions what to do now. And Krishna was amused. And Krishna spoke in a thunderous voice. Balram, have you forgotten that you are God? So God had to be reminded that he is a God. Have you forgotten you are God? Give up all your fears. Why are you submitting to illusion? Remember your own divine powers and slay this demon. And then Balram realized, yeah, I'm God. I'm not a small tender Gopa. So in this way, initially Balram increased his weight, which is elaborately spoken in Bhagavatam. So he was first running, and then he started feeling a lot of weight. So he decreased his speed. So after decreasing his speed, you can see in the next slide. Yeah. So after decreasing his speed, now he assumed his original form of a big wicked demon. So using his unrivaled strengths, which more many mountains, now Balramji increases weight. And now when this demon had come in his original form, this demon was looking like a great mountain, and Balramji was looking like a small moon rising from the mountain. Especially in the hilly areas, when moon rises, it looks like that. And then you can see this slide and the next slide. Yeah. So now Balramji, he punched on the head of this demon. Immediately, this demon started vomiting blood. And this blood was looking like uh, there is sometimes minerals called uh, vermilion, which is red in color. It is found in the mountain. So his blood was looking like that. Balramji was looking like a beautiful moon, and this demon was looking like a great mountain. And with a punch, he smashed or he caused the demon's head to split into various pieces. दाऊजी महाराज की जय. प्रलंबारी बलराम जी की जय. So in this way, yeah, Balram ji killed this great demon and sent him to the abode of Yamraj. So when Vrajvasis, they looked at Balram. I think the previous slide would be better. Yes. So when Brajvasis were looking at Balram, they thought Balram to have complexion which is whiter than the fresh camphor. So he was looking like a moon sitting on the top of a dome which covers the universe. So demon's body had a dark smoky color, And because of his bleeding, his hideous body was now looking like clouds, cluster of clouds in the sunset. So during sunset, cluster of clouds look reddish. Similarly, Palambasura's body was also looking reddish. So in this way, Palambasura slowly fell to the ground. So you were looking like sun setting behind the Vindhya mountains. Yeah. So Balram, so all the demigods, they start glorifying Balramji. Jai, 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 Jai. So in this way, notorious demon Pralambasur was vanquished by Balramji. And then all the Gopas, they came there and they start glorifying Balramji and they gave him a new name. That from today onwards, your name will be Pralambagna. One who removes all the sins from the heart, or one who delivered Pralambasur. So then Balramji met with Krishna and he met with all the Gopas. And remembering his recent feat, Balramji was very blissful within his mind. Yeah. So, but he saw that all these Gopas were confused, bewildered. Oh, Balram has so much power. So he rejoined Krishna in the shade of a beautiful banyan tree called Bhandirvat. So Lord he likes to uh, remember his power, his pastimes of killing demons. Once Hanun Presak Mala was telling that in Vakunta, Lord looks at his club again, is covered by the blood of the demons. He demons, oh, I've killed them. Very nice. We had a nice fight. So now these Gopas, they were again relaxing under the Bhandrivat, as you can see in the slide. So Krishna, Balram, Sridama, Sudama, Subala, and all these Gopas, they were resting beside Yamuna in this Bhandirvat. And cows, they were eating this grass. But within some time, what had happened is this cow went deep in the forest, and this forest was called Munjavati forest. And when these cows were nicely eating grass, as you can see in the next slide, suddenly, for practically no apparent reason, all the birds, they start like flying away in fear. So the birds which were there in the treetops began to run here and there. And cows were like, why are they moving here and there? Krishna, whose eyes are look like a pink lotus flower, noticed that Gopas have become apprehensive about safety of cows because cows had entered deep in this Munjavati forest. And as you can see in the next slide, yeah, Krishna told to the Gopas, he said, my dear friends, look, wherever cows have gone, only light of happiness shines in the forest full of birds and deer. So you don't have to worry about the cows, but since we cannot see them now, let us find the cows. So they basically began to search for cows. So they were expert in herding the cows. So they were looking at the partially chewed grass, understanding, oh, cows must have ate these grasses. They saw the fresh hoofprints of the cows in the soil. And in this way, they were able to find out the signs of the movement of the cows. So following them, they were walking in this densely foliated forest to search for the cows. But then at a point of time, they became very doubtful and apprehensive about safety of cows because they were not able to search them any longer. So now they became very distressful. They were lamenting as if they don't have any happiness, and they were worrying for cows. And suddenly, as you can see in the next slide, uh, they saw some fire. So Gopal saw some powerful fire. They were devouring all the dry reeds and grass on the paths. So their eyes burnt from blustery hot winds which were being generated by the fire. So being overwhelmed with sadness and anxiety, all these Gopas looked at each other with tearful eyes. So they were looking like bewildered men who prays during difficulty. So all these Gopas were thinking of cows, what happened to our cows, what happened to our cows. At the same time, you can see the next slide, cows were also very worried. So they saw no sign of their masters and they couldn't find how to escape this fire. So now cows were crying in fear. Moo, moo, moo. And Gopas, now they returned to the Bhandirvat tree and they reported to Krishna. And Krishna promised them, don't worry, I'll save the cows. So although Krishna is Supreme Brahman, he is Chintamani, gem, who fulfills all the people's desires. Now Krishna began to summon the cows. So he began to play on his flute to delight and give assurance to the cows, don't worry, I'm there for you. Uh, and now Krishna began to call each one of them by their names. Hey, hey, Dhavali, hey, Chandani, hey, Nandini, hey, Mukte, hey, Indu Tilake, hey, Kasturi, hey, Karpurike, hey, Pinge, hey, Ragini, hey, Dhumale, hey, Kanjalike, hey, Shame, hey, Kechuki, hey, Chandrike, hey, Savalike, hey, Kashmirike, hey, Champake. And when Krishna is speaking like that, cows began to respond, oh, 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 because their names were called. And Krishna, when he began to play on his Murli, it enchanted the entire universe, including the cows. So cows were assured, Krishna will save me. But they were eagerly waiting for Krishna because they were now, by this time, they're trapped in the ring of fire. So they were calling Huma, 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 they're calling for Krishna. So far beyond the comprehension of Munis, Gyanis, impersonalists, Krishna can easily be seen by his pure devotees. So hearing the wailing of cows in distance, Krishna, Balaram, all the Gopas, they felt assured that cows are nearby only. Hmm. So now they had brilliant effulgences and radiant smiles, all these Gopas, which dissipated the darkness of the forest. So now they had no anxieties. They knew Krishna would protect them. And by this time, now Gopas could see how these cows are unprotected and they're surrounded by the circle of blazing fire. So seeing them, Gopas were again disheartened. To say said, alas, just see how they're suffering. They're in such a great danger, very close to the death. And all these cows, their minds were immersed in the thoughts of Krishna. Tears of separation from Krishna were dripping from their eyes. And Krishna felt limitless compassion for all these cows. So Krishna felt so much aggrieved to see the agonized condition of the cows. And by this time, these flames of the fire were practically touching the sky. It was looking as if even the torrential downpour of the rains can't extinguish the fire. Hmm. So now you can see in this slide and the next slide. Yeah. It's from Krishna art book. So before immediately swallowing up that uncontrollable fire, Krishna, whose face is so beautiful, addressed his followers. He said to the Gopas, my dear Gopas, just close your eyes and forget this illusion and be happy again. And somehow these Gopas had so much faith in Krishna, they followed. So these Gopas, their hairs hanging down their shoulders, closed their eyes, and Krishna drank the entire fire with his cupped hands, as somebody drinks water. So Krishna drank the entire forest fire as if it was a liquid ambrosia. Hmm. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. So Krishna followed. And now our Acharya say, why did he tell Gopas to close their eyes? One of the reason is to, you can say, show their faith in Krishna. Other reason was Krishna thought, I just ate some mud and these Gopas made such a big issue about it. So if I eat this fire, he will suddenly go and complain to Jasoda. And Jasoda will be so worried that my Lala's tongue will be burnt. Hmm. So that's why Krishna told them to close their eyes. So usually it takes torrential downpour to stop forest fire, but Krishna easily extinguished this blazing fire. So Krishna also has the power to stop the blazing fire of material existence by sidelong glance. That's enough. One Kataks, one sidelong glance. Ah. So out of compassion for cows, Krishna saved them by mere touch of his own energy. So in this way, Krishna attracts all the people of the world by his transcendental pastimes. Hmm. So as one presses pulp to extract the essence, similarly Krishna's pastime reveal the essence of the absolute truth. Ah. And it is not so surprising because Krishna is Supreme Brahman. He is embodiment of all powers